Arsenal probably just about deserve to have sealed it, to end a fantastic week for them, because you remember they got beaten by Villa, they got beaten by Bayern Munich. They then go on this run. In the space of 8 days, they draw with Wolves, they hammer Chelsea, and they beat their North London rivals. Emphatically would be the wrong word, but they score 3 goals away from home. And it's a tough, tough fixture. When we spoke on Friday, I said to you, only once in the last 19 occasions in this fixture has the away team won. So this is a significant result. But it was so, so nervy at the end. Mikel Arteta said, during those extra time minutes, I was praying. So that tells you just how much it means to them, how big a victory it was. But this is going all the way to the wire, which, as Mikel Arteta has said, is the case. And also Pep Guardiola. Neither expects the other to blink first. This will go all the way.
Geoff, with 22 goals scored on set pieces, Arsenal have clearly shown that, a little different from last season where they were high-flying, they're going to find ways to win matches in the margins. And I think that's what happened here. Talk to me a little bit about what happens next season for Tottenham. Do you think the confidence is still there with Postecoglou? Because I agree with you. I actually agree that they were a much better team. I think the XG even bears that out. But do you think they're starting to be a little bit of it's starting to wear on the fan base that while they're playing well, they're not winning some of these matches?
I think you need to rewind, Alexis, to some of the headlines early in the season when they were leading the Premier League, when they were winning game after game, and everyone was saying, hey, Ange Ball, this is fantastic. This is the best thing since sliced bread. We've got to believe in this guy. You've got to carry that through. Tottenham are a work in progress. And for me, there is no doubt whatsoever he's made huge strides there. And don't forget, he inherited a squad, a team, and he just lost arguably one of the best strikers, well, not arguably, one of the best strikers in Europe. So to lose Harry Kane and then to have to readjust is very, very difficult indeed. These aren't all of his players, but I think he's got the basis there. He's got the foundation there. I think they probably need another central midfield player. I think they need a striker as well. But absolutely, they should continue with Ange Postecoglou. He's doing great things. He's brought the feel-good factor back as well, and a style of football which is suited to Tottenham Hotspur, because they love the way he plays. I don't get this argument either. I mean, Charlie, Brian, you tell me, when you hear the coach hasn't got plan B, what is plan B? I don't actually understand what actually means. I mean, you should just do plan A better. You can't all of a sudden completely change all your principles in the way you play. Or should he be more pragmatic on occasion?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
What do you think?
That's what they're saying, Geoff, right? Because he leaves his team wide open at the back. They push, as you saw, even Romero winning balls on midfield, which is pretty crazy. But he's relying on the pace that they have in the back line, and sometimes that can't get you out of trouble. So I think that's what they're talking about, Plan B. But it sure is a fun matches to watch when Tottenham steps on the field.
Yeah, it's more just about tactics, right? It's this is what it looks like when we're winning. This is what it looks like when we're losing. This is what it looks like when we have the energy to press, and when we start to tire out. This is what it looks like. So the different scenarios, and I think just having the right balance. That's what you want to see from a team, and not playing the same way from minute 1 to minute 90. That's not possible.
But that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and that's why he's not higher up the table. Geoff, I want to talk about the other team that's in the title race that has slipped up as of late, with Everton and now with West Ham and Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp.
No, don't talk. If you talk, there will be fire.
Oh, you're right. Jurgen Klopp.
Somewhere Sue's just
not starting Mohamed Salah, right? This is their best player. You're in the title race. You would expect to see him on the pitch.
No, stop you right there, Charlie. I can see why you are so hopeless at betting. Has he been their best player since his injury when he came back from AFCON?
Jeff,
has he? No.
Is he their best player?
Has he deserved to start? No.
Is he their best player?
Not right now. No, he's not, and he hasn't shown it. As you know yourself, best player is best player on form, not on history, on right now. Now, he's humpy because he's only getting 11 minutes to try and make a difference in the game. But there are no winners in this scenario. Klopp's leaving. So what happens now? I mean, Klopp tried to say, yeah, we sorted it out in the dressing room. What does he do, though? He leaves him out, the team, for the remainder of the team, to let him know who's boss. But, of course, there's all this talk about Salah's contract. He's got a year left after this. So if Liverpool are going to sell him, now is the time to do so, to cash in on him. So depending if they want to keep him, and the noise is coming out of Liverpool today that they do want to keep Mo Salah, they need to keep him sweet as well. You know, this is an unfortunate spat and it's unfortunate timing because we all talked about the last dance for Klopp. Now, unfortunately, it's just turned into a disappointing, well, I don't know what you would call it. It's not even a jig, is it? It's just gone flat, so flat for them. They've run out of steam. And I think this, if you like, this touchline row was a result of just the general disappointment right now, the way that the season is falling away from them.
So, Geoff, just to build off Mohamed Salah, right?
I feel like crossfire comes a little fire.
What happens to managers that get the most of their players with trust, even when they're not in form? Because you're looking at Harvey Elliott and Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz, all three. You cannot tell me that even if they're in their best form, they are better than Mohamed Salah. It's just not realistic. And I think for Mohamed Salah, it's one of those players that, yes, the expectation is, I know I'm the best player. I might be not in form, but give me the time and I will get back in form. Just like you've shown the trust to Darwin Nunez, who's missed over a million chances.
How much time has he been given? He had moments to prove that, okay, you know what, I should be starting throughout this slip of Liverpool games, this group of Liverpool games.
And you don't ride with him? You still don't ride with him?
And he hasn't been able to score.
He's your best player.
He's been at times a little bit
He's your
lackluster.
best player, Nico. He's your best player.
Charlie, hang on. There's a couple of things here. First, Nunez was left out as well at the weekend. In fact, the most important role he played was restraining Mo Salah from going after Klopp. That was his biggest input into the match. So, look, Liverpool are not firing on all cylinders right now. You can only pick 11 players, and I understand what you're saying. How much do you back a player? How much do you trust a player who's been there and done it for you? But by the same token, put yourself in the shoes of, say a Harvey Elliott. They're not direct comparisons, but young player, you can be saying, hang on, Gaffer, I've been doing it for you when I play. You're only picking him based on past achievements. I'm playing well right now.
I've been there. I'm just saying. I've been the young player. Listen, and I've been the old player.
We just started talking about. We started the show off talking about how Luis Enrique has left players out when they needed to understand and be held accountable. I think that's what Geoff's talking about, is knowing. Listen, if you're not playing at your best, you got to make sure that you take that on board, and when you're not starting, you come in and make the difference. You don't get all upset, and whether or not there was something else going on in the locker room, I don't know, Geoff. But I want to move to Sheffield United. And considering how poor a season they had, and knowing it was always going to be an uphill climb for them coming up from the championship, what's the feeling for Sheffield United now?
Well, you can't deny, can you, Brian? It's been an awful season. As the table stands, I think the worst, their third all-time worst Premier League record as we speak. On 7 occasions this season, they've conceded 5+ goals. There was that horrific 8-0 hammering by Newcastle. There was a run where they conceded 5, and then 6. So they've known this is coming for some time. And Chris Wilder, the club is in his veins. He's got a massive rebuild. They need to get together both on and off the pitch. I think there's 13 players whose either their loan move is up or out of contract this summer. He's already talked about giving the youngsters a chance, and that's why he has left out senior players this season. So they've got to regroup. It's not like they've gone down fighting. They really have been obliterated left, right and centre. Chris himself said the league is just too powerful for us, and that's why they haven't done it. I don't think they've been helped by off-field infighting, club ownership, lack of money, you name it. There's been a whole host of reasons. They need to go down, and they need to stabilise, and they need to sort out the club internally. I'm not saying impossible. Of course it isn't impossible, but it'd be a big ask to bounce straight back, because of the amount of rebuild they've got to do. 13 players leaving a club is a lot. It can be done, but they've really got to sort themselves out.